the pens and stuff that I'm going to use for today. So basically I'm setting up my weekly spread in my February bullet journal, and this is for next week. So I normally set them up the week before. Some people like to set everything up like nice and early, but I don't, because I really enjoy doing this. Like, this is fun for me, so it's not like I need to rush through and get it all set up. It's kind of like therapy time. So just a chilled afternoon setting up my weekly spread. You can see how long it takes me. Hello everyone, thank you for joining. Yeah, so you can see how long it takes and my kind of thought process. I do already have it penciled out. I don't know if you can see, but that is because the pencil just doesn't show up well on camera. So I didn't want you to sit there watching me do the pencil and then be like, I can't see anything. So pens I'm going to be using today are, these are the fine liners that I use. They were just a set I got off Amazon. A fairly cheap set as well. They come with all the different sizes that you could want. And it even comes with a little brush pen. I've not used that yet, but these are the main sizes I use, like the smaller end. And then I've got a brush pen as well. This is a Pentel brush pen, so I'll be using that for like some of the titles. And then I have my Crayola Super Tips. Some of the pens are missing, but I've set up the colours at the front are the ones I mostly use. So yeah, let's just get into it, shall we? I'll try to keep my book in the middle as much as possible, but might move a little bit, but as long as you can still see. If you can't at any point, then just let me know. And yeah, let's get going. So I'll have to try my very best not to go sticking my head under the camera and blocking your view. But the first thing I'm going to do is probably go with the 0.1. I like a thin pen to split up the lines. So for this weekly spread, I've divided the page into 6 along the side. I'm going with vertical days for this week because I want to actually try out something different. So I'm gonna divide it up. I've managed to count it out so that there's 8 little boxes for each third of the page, if that makes sense. And I'm going to draw a line between the 2 sections just to divide up the space for each day. Obviously, yeah, there are 7 days in a week, but I will be putting Saturday and Sunday on the same one just because my main days that I need to plan are the weekdays. So as long as I've got room for those, and the 2 pages don't really split that well across this kind of layout if I divided it into 7. So yeah, that is the reason for that. How are you? I'm very good, thanks. From Japan. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll just check the chat every now and again, so if you have any questions, then please drop them in. And other than that, I'll just continue to talk you through my spread. And yeah, so these are the days of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then weekend I'll put as 1. And I can't decide whether I should go filling in all of the pen first. I think I probably will, and then I can rub everything out once I've started doing the pen. Yeah, and then shall I stick with my 0.1? I think I will. And I'm going to start off. So my February theme is like a camping outdoors type of theme. So you will see this little illustration section at the bottom come to life. I always like to make sure I've got plenty of space to add in all the little drawings I want to include. So down in this left hand corner, I am drawing some mountains. These are really simple and easy to do. If you just do this kind of triangle shape, make them a little bit wobbly, and then add in some lines going down the center to give it a 3-dimensional sort of effect. And then you can even add in little lines to create some shading and stuff. And this kind of shows as the cracks, make them a bit jagged. And yeah, they're pretty easy to draw. And I like to add a bit of shadow, but I'll probably do that at the end, potentially even with pen. So hi Jess, thanks for joining. Also, I'm really sorry to anyone who comments in a language that isn't English, because YouTube doesn't have translate, so really sorry about that. But it's kind of annoying, it doesn't do it in the comments either, so I can't reply, and it doesn't let me copy and paste either, so it's not even like I can go and paste it into Google Translate. It's, yeah, a bit annoying. I'm hoping they're going to sort that out. So I've got my little mountains down in the corner. Then I'm drawing, this is quite a minimalist style spread and theme that I've got going on. My little trees are just literally like a line with kind of half arrows on them to act as like forest, don't know what they call, like pine trees. Yeah, so this is what I'm drawing down here. I'm trying to make it kind of cute. So we're going to have, you have to imagine it's like a little camping setup down at the bottom. So this bit between the trees, I'm going to make as if it's like a little hammock. So someone's kind of camped out in the forest. Just thought that would be pretty cute. And then filling in some more trees. And then because I'm keeping this fairly minimalist, I'm not colouring in every section. When I add the colour later, I will just mostly do like outlines. If anyone's seen my February setup video, then you'll know the kind of theme that we're going with. It's very like plain stick figure kind of one. I wanted to make something kind of simple because my March theme is going to be a pretty decorative one. I'm going to do kind of bees, honeycomb, that sort of thing. So it's going to be a very bright, very full pages. So I thought it'd be nice to have a bit of a contrast. So my February themes are pretty chill and easy to do. It also means that if anyone wanted to do this theme, then it's very easy and you don't need many equipment, just like a pen and a few colours. Hi Bree, thanks for watching. Yeah, so just drop in the chat if you have any questions or anything you want me to talk about. It's fairly difficult coming up with stuff to say because obviously I'm just talking to myself, but until you have any questions, I'll just continue to talk through what I'm doing. And yeah, if any of you do bullet journaling as well, let me know what theme you're doing for March and what your February theme is. Yeah, so now we've got our little doodles down the bottom. I'll probably add in some more trees here, like a mixture of different height ones. It's obviously not proportionate because clearly the tent shouldn't be the same height as the tree and like the fire shouldn't be this, you know what I mean, but it's big enough so that it can be seen, and it's just to give like the idea so that people know the theme pretty much. Maybe a little tree there. But yeah, like I said, I'm not colouring in these when it comes to the colour section. I'm just kind of going over the lines and then I will colour in. I'll probably like colour in the tent like I've done on the previous spreads, but the mountains I won't colour in, I'll just go around the edge. So moving on up to the top, I'm going to do, I need a bigger pen for this. Let's have 0.4. So I've got February up in the top. Normally I like to do loads of like brush pen type lettering, and for this spread it wouldn't really work. It doesn't really fit. It's because it is so minimalist and like stick drawing-y. I think having this kind of simple font, like straight lines and kind of geometric-y, works a lot better for this. What are you saying? Okay. What am I in it? Oh, okay. Sorry, yeah, I was just making sure that I'm not in the screen. How long have you been bullet journaling and what made you want to start? Okay, cool question. Thank you for that. Gives me something to talk about. So I started bullet journaling. I actually tried it out a few years ago, but I never stuck to it. Like, if you follow me on Instagram, then you'd be able to look back. I think I started the account in like 2019. So that was when I first ever did it. But I only stuck to it for a little bit and it just kind of just got forgotten about. So that was when I first tried it. But in terms of now and being like consistent with it and starting my accounts and stuff, I only started last June, so summer last year, because I just finished uni and yeah, basically had the time. So I thought, right, if I'm going to stick to it, then now will be a good chance. And luckily I have stuck to it and it's all going quite well so far. And yeah, so the reason I wanted to start was because I actually like the arty side of it. I guess you can probably tell. Yeah, so like obviously I like having a planner. I'm very much like, I make to-do lists all the time. So it kind of made sense that I had somewhere to put all of that and keep it all in one place. But yeah, so I wanted to do it for the arty side and like sharing it, and I've always been into art. I did art at school. I did like GCSE and A-level. And I also have like a little Etsy shop as well. So yeah, I'm very into arty stuff, and I thought this would be a good way for me to kind of be a little bit more productive, keep track of what I'm meant to be doing and when, but also a good like creative outlet. And plus, like, you know, I enjoy kind of showing people how I do it as well. And yeah, it's been going well so far. People seem to like it, so I'll keep it up. And it means then I can help out other people as well if they want to get started with it. I think it's so fun. Like, it's really fun for me. I enjoy doing it. So if I can kind of help people get into it as well and they find the enjoyment from it, and that's win-win, really. So just as a little update, I got my little title here and I just wrote week 3. The middle E went a bit weird. I was kind of going to do like a W with the curl at the top, but I kind of forgot I shouldn't be doing that sort of writing. So that looks a bit strange, but we'll leave that. Then we've got February up here. This is my mini habit tracker. So for this month, I'm only having a mood tracker and a sleep tracker because I just wanted to try out having my habit tracker on the week, just as like a good reminder and stuff. So that's that. I've got the days of the week here, space to write the habits here, and then I'll draw in some coloured lines just to divide it up a little bit so it doesn't look so plain. So you'd write your habit on the left side and then just put a dot or a cross as you go through the week if you've done that habit. So then I had a little gap up here that I wanted to fill with a quote. I really enjoyed having quote pages like tied in with my weekly spreads. So I don't know, I'm just quite into quotes at the moment. I think it's a really nice way to motivate yourself and stuff. And it's just a good reminder to have like on the page that you're looking at constantly. So the quote I've gone with here, I obviously wanted it to be kind of relevant to the theme. So I've gone with, the biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams. I just found that one on Pinterest. So I thought that would fit really well here. And I'll just write that one in. I kind of can't help doing this sort of curly writing because I do it so often for bullet journal stuff. I'm just so used to it. Doesn't necessarily go with the theme, but we'll ignore that for now. I think because it's a quote, it's kind of okay. Looks like, you know, handwriting-y. So the biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams. Is to live. I did pencil this out underneath. I don't know if you can see, but I'm not sticking exactly to it. Whoops. But it just gives me a good idea because down on the bottom section it didn't actually all fit in, so now I knew to like put the live up there, kind of, hope that makes sense. So live the life of your dreams. Sorry, it's hard to talk and write at the same time. But yeah, this is my first ever YouTube live, so if you are enjoying it, then let me know, and I will definitely do some more if people enjoy them. I can also save them afterwards, so if people weren't able to come like at the time, then that means that you can still see it. So there we go. The biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams. Yes, I love all stuff like that. I think it's good, inspirational stuff. So next up, I need to rub out any pencil lines that I've left underneath. Probably won't be exact just because I don't want to go moving the book or moving the camera too much, but I can finish it off afterwards if I've left anything behind. I did do the pencil pretty lightly, so even if I do leave some bits, you can't really see it anyway. And then we can go on to adding a bit of colour, which should be fun. Get the super tips out. Yeah, I used to always use Beryl fine tip pens as my colour, but I knew like everyone in the bullet journal community pretty much uses these Crayola super tips, and I was sort of thinking like, is it a bit of a hype? Like, you know, just because someone else has used it, everyone sort of thinks that's what you need to have. But I do actually really like them. I think the main thing that I like about them is the fact that they have so many colours. Like if you weren't here at the start when I showed them, look how many there are. There's 100. I can't remember how much they were, but they're pretty pricey for what they are, I think. But you do get such a good array of colours, and I think when you're creating spreads all the time and, you know, you're often going to need multiple colours, it's good to have a really nice set. So I just use the sleeve of my jumper to get rid of all the little rubbings as much as possible. It's so annoying, like whenever I'm filming a video for YouTube, I have to obviously try to keep my book as still as possible, like not on a live, on a normal video, just so it's like consistent rather than the book moving around all the time. But this section always is difficult because you don't want to leave, you know, film a whole video and realise you've got a patch of like rubbing marks over there. So yeah, I'll try and get rid of most of that, but probably won't all be gone, which is a bit annoying, but hopefully you can forgive that. Okay, that's mostly gone. It's also annoying because they're obviously from the rubber. They're kind of sticky, so they don't rub off as easily as you would imagine that they would. But yeah, there we go. Hi from Armenia. Wow. Yeah, I think people keep dropping in and out, but that's perfectly fine. I'm also going to save it as a video afterwards, so if people weren't able to make it, then they can watch it then. So I think the first thing I will do is I'm going to draw a coloured line at the top of each of the days and then right over the top the day. So should I do the different colours? Right, this is kind of my colour palette. I've got like greens and browns, kind of muted like earthy colours. Yeah, so I think I will do alternate colours. So let's start with the Monday. Just using the edge of the super tips, trying to get a straight line as much as possible, but it's not the easiest thing in the world, especially because of like where the camera is. I have to sit at a kind of funny angle, so it might not be perfectly straight, but that's okay. I'm going to write over the top of it in a minute. It's just to add a pop of colour. Then what have we got? Let's do yellow next. And then what else should we do? Could do green, I guess. Green would probably work fairly well. It looks a bit of a strange colour palette, but when you see all of the things coloured in down at the bottom, it like, yeah, it really works together. So yeah, I think the live watch count is a little bit off because people are commenting and yeah, it says 0, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. But my YouTube has also been a little bit odd, like it keeps turning off the comments on some of my videos and then like deleting all the comments that were there, so I'm sorry about that. Don't really know what is up with it. But ooh, should I put the titles in first? Yeah, let's do that. So I'm just going to go over the top with Monday, so I'll just put MON. For Tuesday, I just prefer having the shortened version of the word, just so it doesn't look too busy. Friday, and then because this is the weekend, I'm going to write end, just because that's kind of the best way that I can think of getting a 3-letter version of weekend. So yeah, that is the days of the week sorted. I think I'm also going to try later adding in the times, because I've not done this before, but I thought that might be a good thing to try out and see if I prefer it, rather than just, because normally I use the space just as a to-do list. So I might try it as almost like a more structured daily planner. So we're going to give that a go. I wouldn't do it for the weekend just because that's like, you know, just any old day. But let's use the brown to do the habits, because that's what I've used on my previous weekly spreads. So this is just to help it stand out a little more. Whoops, missed the start. There we go. Sorry. Okay. Next thing, we need to colour in this bit down the bottom. So let's get the grey. So for the mountains, I just go around the edge, over the lines. Because like I said, it's meant to be fairly minimalist, and I don't then want it to be loads and loads of colour, because the mountains would just be like really dark patches of grey otherwise. So I thought just doing the outline kind of adds some colour without making it too like in your face, doesn't stand out too much from the rest of the spread. I also, sometimes I don't, but on this spread I've gone right to the edge of the book, just because this design being along the bottom, I thought it would kind of work better doing it that way. So yeah, that's something you can always try out if you want to change up your designs a little bit. Just making it go fully to the edge can really kind of change the look of it, so that's always worth giving a go. Right, let's add in the colour for the trees. I have a darker green and this kind of green, so that we have two different colours. Wait, is it this green? I think it might be. So I'm just going to like alternate between this slightly lighter, earthier green and the darker green. I don't know how well you can see it on the camera, but it is this kind of like dusty green colour. So I'm just going over the little arrows again. It's more to give the impression of it being a tree rather than to make it look like a tree, if that makes sense. So that's the lighter green. Then maybe this darker green. Go over. Yeah, I think that's right. It's hard to remember because I always try to use the colours consistently through all of the spreads, but like some of the greens are very similar. I think this looks about right. That is the only thing with the super tips. They don't have the colours, like the numbers of the colours on the pen, which would be really helpful, like Tombow brush pens do. That is probably my only complaint. I like how they have the wider base and the smaller tip, so you can do like thicker lines like I've done up here, or thinner if you're working on the tip of the pen. So next, let's do this kind of beigey brown for the hammock. I always love colouring in, like this of all the spreads doesn't have much to colour in, but it's literally like creating yourself a colouring book, so it's pretty good fun. Then let's colour in the little fire. Do the logs in this darker brown, the one that matches the habit tracker. They actually look very similar on the page, but they are a slightly different shade of brown. Then let's do the fire. Do the outer edge in this yellowy orange. And then I will add like a pinky red to the middle. Just because this spread is quite like warm colours. So I don't really know how that is, because greens and browns are typically like colder colours, but they're like the warmer version of that colour, if that makes sense. Okay, next I need to colour in the little tent. So let's do, could do brown or we could do green. I'm thinking green, just because that's kind of the colour that I would imagine a tent would be. And then, as always, I try my best to go around the edge of the item that needs to be coloured in. So I've got some like lines to work within, and then I try to do straight lines, whether they're side to side or like up and down, just so that otherwise when you're colouring it gets a bit, because you can see some of the lines within the colour, so it kind of detracts otherwise. Unless it's a really small section like these, you kind of not enough room to make it go in straight lines anyway. And I went over the lines a little at the bottom, but I can just even that out. It's because of the angle I have to sit at, it makes it difficult because I can't actually see behind my pen. Okay, then what is next? See, this really hasn't taken me very long. It's been, what, half an hour, just under, and we're already nearly done. So let's fill in my habits for the week. Because normally when you create a habit tracker for the month, your habits are then set for the entire month. You can't really change your mind. Whereas I actually have some weeks where, like, you know, maybe I don't feel like focusing on working out that week and I want to have a bit more of a, who knows, like a self-care week. And maybe then one of the habits you want to swap out would be you know, HIIT workouts and you want to swap it for time reading or something. So I thought that would be a nice thing to try out, and that's partly why I've also then done the habits on the week, so I can change my habits from week to week if I prefer. So let's fill it in. I always try to have meditation as one of the habits, just because it's really good for you, and I definitely feel the benefits when I'm consistent with that. Then we want to have reading, which I will talk a bit more about in my next YouTube video. I'm going to do a video of like how to fill in the spreads. So I'll talk you through that. But basically, I've not been reading much this year. I haven't read actually anything yet, which is really weird for me. I'm quite into reading. So I think I've just been so busy with all this content stuff. Like whenever I get time, I want to focus on this. So that's something else. What else? We want workouts. They're often on my habit tracker, but it's just good to like keep a track of how active you're being, especially because I work from home. So there's that. Then also going on walks. Again, working from home, I want to make sure I'm getting out and about as much as possible. Then what else should we have? We could have vitamins, because I always forget to take them. I'm rubbish with that. I'll go through phases of literally doing it every day consistently, and then I'll, you know, maybe forget to refill my little pot or something, and it just goes out the window. So vitamins, and then one last habit. What do we want to track? Probably skincare. Because obviously, like, every day you wash your face and moisturize and all that, but like the more extravagant stuff, I'm not very good at staying consistent with that. So what is the date as of Monday? Today is the 12th, 13th, 14th is Valentine's Day. So I like to always put in the days as well, just so I know where I'm at. 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and then 19/20. Oh, that's really annoying. I'm going to have to add a little bit more green on the end there, because it didn't quite fit in. There we go. And then, so what I was trying to explain earlier is I wanted to try out having it so that I have a time for each day. So rather than just putting in my simple to-do list, I'm going to try having a more structured week. So let me just figure out if I did maybe 2 lines per time. I could do 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's probably about right for me. So if I do 9, 10, 11, 12. So these are the times down the side. I probably won't write them, or maybe I will. No, I probably won't. I was gonna write them on all of the days, but okay, number 7 is in the mountain, but we see it. Then I could do a very, very light grey just to differentiate. I hope this isn't going to ruin it, but we'll give it a go. So I'll just do the opposite colours, opposite times, sorry, just to help break it up so we can see, like, rather than drawing lines across all of the planner, because it is a very light grey, it doesn't kind of draw your eye too much, but equally you can see that there's different things going on there. Oh, I actually should have put the 7 higher up, then it wouldn't have been in the mountain, so. I was debating alternating it, but I think this actually works better. So these super tips are really good for things like this. It's easy to draw a fairly straight line. Obviously they're not perfect, but because you can press on the edge, it creates quite a flattish line, almost like if you'd drawn it with a highlighter that are quite square at the tip. There we go. So yeah, I will feedback on how I like this weekly spread. If you're setting up yours, maybe you can give it a go as well and let me know what you think. I would love to know whether you find it more or less useful, because I know that time blocking is a very useful way to be more productive, and I feel like I want to up my productivity a little bit. Just because I have so many like ideas and things I want to get done, I kind of need to be making the most of every bit of time I've got throughout the day. But yeah, time blocking is where you section off a chunk of time. You literally block out that time for the day. And you put every little thing in your calendar. So for example, you know, you might block out 1 till 2 p.m. for your lunch, or, you know, maybe not that amount of time, but, you know, and then maybe 5 till 6 will be workout, and then 9 till 11 in the morning is like your main task for the day, or something like that. So I'm going to give that a go this week, and I will update you in my next live or my next video, depending on whether people would like to see this happen again. And yes, I'm kind of excited to try it out. I watch a lot of like productivity type videos on YouTube as well, so trying out the tips. Although I'm doing the lines on the weekend one, I'm not actually going to split this because it's going to cover 2 days, so that'll just be a random bullet point, but it would look weird if I didn't do the lines on this day, so let's do that. And there we go. I think that looks pretty cute. Pretty happy with how it's looking. Could use this lighter colour to add in a bit of shadow on the mountain. Just some little lines because it's very minimalistic. Could do like, sometimes if it's not dark enough, you can do like a checkered board. And this side, the shadow. Whenever you're doing shadows, you need to pick a consistent light source. So you have to imagine here, for example, the light may be coming from the fire. So the highlighted sides are going to be this side, and the shadows will be on the outer side. So that's why I've done it that way. But yeah, just a little tip to make things a little bit more realistic looking. No, it's not trying to be realistic, but let's just, last few things to do. Hang on, I just need to, where's my 0.05? Sorry. Where's the pen gone? Okay, seem to have lost a pen. Don't know where that's gone. To 0.1. Let's put the 7 back there because I kind of put it into the mountain, which didn't need to be done. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish this off by going around the February letters in the same blue that I've used in the daily spreads, just so there's a bit more colour up here, because otherwise this sort of section looked a little bit plain. And then I don't know if there's any colour I can add to the quote section, because I think sometimes if you've got some sections that are too plain, it draws your eye like in a bad way. Like I kind of want to add a yellow line. See, this is the fun bit, like when you're finished you can just add on any little improvements you want to make, and I'm pretty happy with that. I will just add some little speech marks so it shows it's like someone's quote. I think it was Oprah Winfrey, because I saw this on Pinterest. I'm pretty sure that's who it said the quote was by. But yeah, there we have it. That is the weekly spread. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Sorry if my book's been a little bit wonky. And I'm hoping the quality of the video is better than what I can see through my phone. But yeah, I will save this video on my channel, so if you didn't get a chance to watch it live, then you can check it out if you'd like to. Please let me know if you would like me to do some more lives, and if there's a good time or date that works for more people. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I've got more videos. My posting days now are Tuesdays and Fridays at 1 PM GMT. Yeah, so I will see you in my next video, and thanks for watching. Bye everyone.